What's going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with another post-game commentary of some ranked action. Today, I thought this game was fairly interesting, so I thought maybe it'd be a good idea to go over it. So I'm playing Hades, and I'm playing against Zeus, and right now, the big, scary thing is... not Katoskopos, is Centaur. Centaur are very, very difficult to deal with. They're very, very strong. So what are we going to do here? Achilles is only 5.5 speed. It's our best answer against those Centaur. And we basically have to kind of figure out how we're going to kill off his Centaur with that one unit while defending all of our stuff. Now, if our opponent does go for a very, very early advance or any sort of quick advance and start making Centaur straight away, what does this actually mean in terms of things that they can do? Well, first thing is you actually can't get yourself a second town center. So if you're going to make Centaur, what you're saying is, I need to do damage with those Centaur. Otherwise, my opponent is going to be able to get in front of me by getting more villagers out, more economy out, and being able to kind of find an advantage that way. Before we go into that a little bit, I am showing off a pretty, I would say this has got to be a fairly standard build order for Hades right now. Slightly later advance time than maybe most people are going for. This is basically, we're trying to rush out Volts of Erebus as fast as we possibly can. This gives us an extra 2 villages on gold. So we're also finding ourselves an advantage even further in front of the Zeus player here who's not got access to an upgrade like this. So I've got 2.00 gold coming through, which ties into, okay, so if he's going to go for Centaur, that's going to stop his second town center from going back, going up straight away, and we're going to be getting ourselves a second town center with this upgrade. So we're going to be very, very much in front. So all we have to do is not take damage here. Now that's easier said than done, but that's our game plan. So yeah, we don't, in the back of my brain right now, I feel like I kind of know exactly what the Greek player is capable of. And this is not good advice, but in a way, I kind of rely a little bit too much on this. And it does get me into trouble a little bit. Basically, what I'm trying to say is you've got to scout your opponent no matter what you think you know about the game, because they might catch you off guard. Now, while this is true, I also feel like I know what the best in slot kind of strategy is for Zeus here. And if the Zeus player wants to go off meta, even if I'm late to react to whatever strategy that is, I can just go, oh, you're doing that, let me go ahead and react to it. So that's a bit of foreshadowing for this game, but we'll note, I'll make a point of it when it comes around. Anyways, we're going for an advance time. I decided to go very, very late here. This is a 4:15. I can get a 4-minute advance time with this if I really want to, but against any sort of fast attack here, I'm really not feeling that threatened. Even if I get pushed off of this gold mine at the start, I can come onto it. I can come back onto it a little bit later. It's going to be totally fine. Also put some walls up, and we're all fantastic here, as I see that I can also try and place sentinels down here. And there's his Centaur coming through, a little bit of damage in. I can just retreat back, send my Ajax forward to push him away. And my gold mine is relatively safe on that side. Yeah, he can come and raid it just a little bit with the Centaur special, but honestly, I don't mind. I just need to get myself my dudes out. You notice I got 5 favor in the bank as well because I'm playing around Bolt here. I'm going to be getting both of my heroes out straight away, and then potentially even getting a secondary hero. I lose my villager. There was not really any need for me to finish that wall. At that point, the Centaurs, they actually don't do that much damage to a building foundation. It does have a fairly high pierce armor, even though it's a foundation there. So there's no reason for my villager to be over there. And now I just have to kind of chase these Centaur around and try and deal with them here. Achilles is going to come out as well. I pretty much know for certain this is going to get bolted at the moment. You can see I'm sending my Minotaur around just to scout out exactly what's happening. And and just trying to see his town centers and try and maybe get some value on that, as I've now got myself all the wood I need to get myself my my town center up, and I can get my another Achilles out. A kind of an interesting take on it. It's not like a perfectly amazing build order. Normally I would probably recommend you to sit on your wood line that's close to your gold mine, so when you do these sorts of changes, you're all good. But yeah, he's going to be putting lots more pressure onto us. Now we've got our Achilles out and we're good. So he has really done a lot of damage to us. Let's not get it twisted. But I don't think he has done more damage to me than he has spent or he has lost by his fast advance time. Something we talk about a little bit is if I advance at 4 minutes and my opponent advances at 3:30, I want to talk about that little thing just there before I continue. Minotaur, don't use the special attack straight away. Auto attack, and when the unit's slightly running away out of reach, then use the special attack and you'll be able to kill that Toscabots every single time. Anyways, if I go 4 minutes and they go 3:30, there's been a villager, or there's been 2 villagers that have popped out that have been gathering resources for a minute far more than my opponent has. So in this situation, I can't remember if he went I think he went for a 3:30 advance. So I went for 4:15. So I had 180 seconds of gather time, more than my opponent. It does translate to about 180 resources. In terms of idle time, moving my villagers around, yeah, probably almost equaled out, but I also had myself that upgrade for my mining camp, or for my gold income there, so I'm also getting an extra 1 gold or 2 gold a second, so that's more than making up for any sort of idle time that's being caused. So I would say right now I'm well and truly in front. I've got a really, really nice position, and bam! I thought he was not going for any sort of classical aid shenanigans here. He is indeed going for a classical aid shenanigan after all. And part of the reason why I said, you know, I probably should have scouted this. I was scouting the town centers. My actual assumption here was that he was going for a heroic age and some sort of a timing. But nope, he's going for hoplites, and I go, all right, you're making hoplites. You're only making hoplites, and hoplites and centaurs. So my answer to this is get watchtowers, turtle up, build a whole bunch of archery ranges, and now I need to build some. As my units decided not to chop that tree down. I'm not sure what's going on there, but I'm in a little bit of a panic mode right now because I got caught out. But this is very off meta, so he needs to get damage done. So I know all I have to do is just take it simply, take it easy, and I'm all good. You can see I'm still getting gold, even though I've got no villagers on the gold mine. So even though he's able to push me off this, I am, for the time being, I'm more than happy. I really don't care. I'm just wanting to put a whole bunch of archery ranges down, and we're good to go. Maybe even get myself up some upgrades or whatever, as my Minotaur does get taken out, but we are able to chase down the Centaur and get some more value there. I need to make sure I'm still getting myself a whole bunch of food, as this Centaur will be coming over here. Basically, you want around about, I don't know, 7 villagers on food is probably around about right, so you can continue your villager production without any idle time. So need to get that, so I've managed to have that, and now I can just spam out the units. I can get back on, finish that wall back off to protect my gold villagers, get back over there, and I'm now spamming out the dudes. So I know he's 1 town center. Losing my Achilles here is a little bit silly. I definitely don't want to do that, but I'm trying to get as much damage as I possibly can onto those centaur. And yeah, as soon as we got those archery ranges up, I can start spamming those down. I do see he's going for an archery range himself, and now I go, okay, so you're not even going for Hippias. So I'm like, okay, my archers are completely fine to continue. And while I'm behind on score right now, I don't feel behind. I feel like you haven't killed off a villager. Yeah, you killed off an Achilles, but I also did a whole bunch of damage onto your centaur, so no worries. I'm now able to spam out all of my archers, and so long as I just play this position decently, I'm okay. Because you're on 1 town center, I'm on 2 town centers. I've been on 2 town centers for nearly 5 minutes now, so my town center has paid itself off, and he's going to be pushing over here. Plus, I've also got still restoration if I need it. And yeah, I've forgotten I need to get myself a little bit of favor in as he comes in with those centaur. Yet again, this that was a big raid. That was poorly played by me. There's probably no reason for me to be on that wood line there when I got a really perfectly safe back wood line. But alas, we we're getting owned. So, but we've got plenty of wood now. I need to get food and start thinking about getting to the next age. So we're just going to be spamming out a whole bunch of archers and just really taking note of really how big his army size is now. Because the next thing, I see his town center going up. The next thing that could potentially happen in this game is he could get to the heroic age. Now, I know that he's not going there because he's gone for the second town center, but he could go second town center and then heroic age and catch me out. I've got no pushing power with the Toxotes, so really these are just for defense, and that's about it. So I need to make a really, really solid decision as we do get some decent micro there onto the Deuterinos, onto the Centaurs. He's going to have to retreat back. I did put that wall down. Don't know why the wall didn't complete, but hey, what can you do? But we get our Achilles back out. We can chase those Centaur down. I see his army numbers at the moment are looking relatively small. So, yeah, I can just go to the next age. I've got enough army to defend myself. Feeling very comfortable with this. And this is a pretty common theme here, I think, in Age Mythology Retold is, look, if you don't have the pushing power to do anything, just go to the next age. And that way you won't get caught out by any sort of weird timings or anything. One thing that's very important in Retold as well is if your opponent gets to the next age, you either want to be kind of pressuring them while they're advancing, or you want to be close to them in terms of their age up, so that they come in for a timing attack and you go, no worries, I got bronze, or I've got a gold power that can defend me. To help with that is really, really important. Now, on the converse side, like if you think that you can put pressure on, maybe you should go for a big push, but you need to be making sure you got pushing power, whether that be with a whole bunch of myth units or hoplites or some sort of huge hack damage dealing unit. Can be really, really good. But yeah, we've got ourselves enough military right now. I'm trying to get the gold income to get myself to the next stage. I'm also building myself some Hippias here so I can deal with any sort of archers that my opponent might be making, especially Peltast is something that I'm a little bit scared of. Definitely a little bit terrified that he might be hitting heroic age like now. I kind of wish I had the post game here just to see exactly how much economy he's at, but I still don't feel like I'm behind. I had my town center up for a good 5 minutes over him, so my villagers should be feeling very, very good. But in terms of like actual army number right now, there's a chance he spent less resources on the military than I have. And he does hit that second age before me, goes through Apollo, and I go, all right, I just have to sit back, wait for my curse, and I've definitely chased him. I'm in a very similar position. I've got a lot of resources in the bank right now, so I can spend them straight away, and that's going to be completely fine. The weakest point in my base right now is my gold mine, and I've got my Nemean Lion, and I'm good to go. So next port of call here is, okay, I'm probably a little bit in front, so take a good fight. Don't force anything. But just being a little bit in front here is not going to be enough to like really win anything. I do have restoration and curse here, but he does have ceasefire, so I'm going to drop that down onto him, get a bunch of kills, get a push through, make sure I target down those heroes. I should be microing my Nemean Lion away here, but I kind of missed it. Do it at the very end there, and we're good to go. So, and then Achilles can come in and just take everything else out. So he's also starting to make those Peltasts, and I go, no worries, Peltasts are great units. Let me respect that, get some Hippias out, spend my resources at the moment. A little bit of miss macro. I am producing a little bit of Hippias, but I could definitely be spending my resources just that little bit better. And yeah, obviously, if those Hippias were in the fight there, I could keep pushing, but need to make sure I get all my heroes out, so I queue those up. Got a lot of favor in the bank as well for whatever I need, and we're all good to go. So at this point, you're going, okay, what are the weaknesses right now in my opponent's position? How can I win the game? He's got a gold mine onto the right side with a town center on it, so definitely attacking that is going to be really good. So I'm starting to send some like Hades Shades over there and just a couple of little niggly units to get just a little bit of harass onto him. But yeah, he's also got a gold mine to the left with a fortress. So, I mean, very simple solution to push through that is go to the mythic age. And I just want a big fight. So he's basically forced to spend somewhere between 1,000 and 2,000 resources on army. So I can realistically just go mythic age here. But another option, now that I have pushing power, now that I'm in the heroic age, is just get Metropolis out. Get Siege out. And make a push. and it's going to work really, really nicely. While also putting a little bit of pressure onto him over onto this side, it's always going to be working out for us. So taking this position down, it's going to be really, really nice. Now, another kind of thing to be worried about here is, what if my opponent says, I'm not going to build any military and I'm going to go for Hera here? Well, that means we're on a timer. The lightning storm will come through and it will get a lot of damage done. So we have to make sure we're killing this position much, much quicker than he's able to get to the next stage. But I see a whole bunch of Peltast here, and we say, all right, restoration, let's push forward. He's going to click ceasefire, and we go, no worries. We'll take our time here and get ourselves some more Metropoli out. We'll take this fortress down. Killing the fortress should win us the game. But yeah, if we kill the fortress and then we get a little bit of economic damage onto him and then he lightning storms us, no worries. We're gonna have done the damage, so we should then be able to repopulate and continue along. Or alternatively, we can just retreat away from that lightning storm as well as an idea. But yeah, he's definitely massing units, so not really anything to really worry about. And this is a pretty important point as well. If you're worried about something like a Mythic Age coming through, if you see his army numbers and you see them increasing quite drastically or somewhat drastically, you just got to be like, great, no worries. He's not going to the next stage. If you see a small army or an army that's significantly smaller than you expect it to be, you go, okay, he's doing something. Is he going for a town center? Has he got a whole bunch of upgrades in? Or is he just going to the next age? So those are the easiest ways to kind of tell what your opponent's doing. It's very rarely, I mean, maybe at the lower levels, it's going to be somewhat to do with miss macro and maybe you're reading it wrong. But if they're just floating those resources, then you're just winning. So there's not really all too much to worry about in that respect in the lower levels of gameplay. And a lot of this is kind of geared towards the higher levels of gameplay. So if you're ever like sitting there going, man, Age of Mythology, such a broken game, like God Powers is so strong, etc., you go, or taking up is so strong, you go, there's no like indicator going on if there's someone taking up. I say, you know what? You're actually right. There is no indicator. In terms of like blatant indicators. But there are RTS relevant indicators. For example, what has my opponent got? What is my opponent doing? And in terms of like respecting your opponent and saying, well, he's got to be doing something. If he's not making army, he's either getting economy or he's teching. So you know he's going to the next age if he's not got either of those things. And you can easily work that out by like right-clicking on them and seeing what's happening. As we do get in, going to be pushing him off of that. Off of those resources here. Unfortunately, I'm a little bit late with my resources here. I got a marker coming down to go up to the next stage. That'd be very, very nice. But we managed to push in and get the dub here. I am not sure. Do I look at the post game? I can't remember. But I'm fairly sure I was just in front on economy this entire game. Even though the score says he's winning to some degree, that's just because he's got the military units out. That's just because he's got myth units out. It's not actually a tangible advantage. Whereas me having resources in the bank and also spending them, that's a more of a tangible advantage. He has to convert that advantage by killing off a whole bunch of villagers, which he just kind of didn't do. Anyways, reacting to the cheese, or not even the cheese, reacting to the kind of off-meta strategy. Just before I finish here, the meta strategy, in my opinion, in this matchup is the Zeus player goes for a handful of centaur, drops a town center. That's it. You're restricting the Zeus player, you're getting value, you get your town center, and then you're on the same sort of equal footing as your opponent while still putting that pressure on. That's what I have to say. That's kind of that's kind of how I see the matchup. And then following on from that, what you do is up to you. If you go for military, if you go for tech, I'm not exactly sure what the best play is there, but definitely Centaur into second town center. And this goes for Poseidon too in this matchup when you're playing against Hades or even playing against Zeus. Anyways, my name is Boit. If you guys enjoyed this type of video, definitely leave a like, leave a comment, and I'll see you guys in the next game.